Hi everybody, it is Cradeur. This is my second video, so I want to say thank you very much for spending a little time with me here. You can visit my website, which is right here, www.jcradeur.com. It's a work in progress, but if you'd like to check it out, please do. So today I'd like to share a little tip I have about overcoming an addiction. Okay, in the world, as you know, there's lots and lots of addictions. There's addiction to food. A lot of people fiddling around with losing weight. A lot of people fiddling around with that. There's over drinking, over drugging, over sexing, over spending. There's all kinds of things that we can do in excess that's not good for us. For me, it was over smoking. So it was in 1989. I was about 30 years old, and I was going through a tough time in my life. I just went through a divorce. And I had 2 kids, and that was tough, and I was going from a salary job to a commission sales job. But I had a few weeks in between, so I headed off to Paris. I headed off to Paris because I wanted to see the world, and I had the opportunity, and it was an amazing trip. I mean, just if you haven't been, go. The Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, the Musée d'Orsay, and the Rodin Museum. I fell in love with art, I fell in love with music. I fell in love with food. Anyway, so I'd be sitting at the cafe and with my little journal, because I've always been a writer, and I've got my orange juice and my latte and my croissant, and there's like all these people around me, and I'm the only one who's not smoking. So that's when it started for me. I started smoking because I thought it was cool, and everyone was doing it. I was in Europe, and I was young and stupid, and that's what I did. I picked up the cigarettes. So now I go forward 20 years later. So I'm now 50 years old. I've been smoking for 20 years. I've smoked the Gitans, which is what I picked up in Paris, and then the Marlboro Lights, then the Merit's Ultralights with a little blue on them, and then the last 7 years or so was the American Spirit Yellows. So anyway, so I had made my commitment that when I turned 50, that's when I would stop. That's when I would stop. So here's the tip. The tip is that since I meditate every day, what I would do is I'd sit down and I would visualize the end result. I would visualize what I look like and what would happen when I quit smoking. So it made it very firm and strong in my mind. I imagined my fingertips not smelling like smoke, not being all kind of browny yellow. I imagined what it would feel like when I walked into a room and people didn't smell smoke on me. I imagined how much better food would taste. I imagined what it would be like when I would wake up and not have that heavy feeling on my chest. I imagine what it would be like just to be free of that ongoing drive to have a cigarette. And most of all, I imagine what it would be like for my children, particularly my daughter, who's now becoming a teenager, the pride she would have in me, being a dad, a guy who overcame this very powerful addiction of cigarettes. And I also wanted to send her a message that it wasn't cool to smoke, right? So I had all of that in my head, so that as I went through that first month, which is a hellish month, because all those situations I told you about, waking up, working, having coffee, having dinner, going to bed, all the times I would have cigarettes, driving in my car, with the window cracked a little bit, those were all where I had the instinct to have a cigarette. But I was strong because I had the picture in mind of what my life was like when I'm a non-smoker, and that kept me going. So that's my tip. Visualize as often as you can the end result so it's real. Okay, it becomes real before it actually becomes real. That's the trick. So again, thank you for spending time with me. Visit my site. If you like this page, go ahead and like it. That would be awesome. Give me a comment. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'm just trying to build a little community here. Thank you very much. Have an awesome day.